And I just remember freaking out, palm sweating, because I was so unimmersed being around women that I didn't have the capability of just being normal around them.
I stopped looking at the numbers, but it's been almost 2 years now since I've watched porn.
You did a video,
right,
560 days without watching, and you said some of the neurological changes that happened for you.
Man, it's just powerful, man. I actually attest that to my climb in the last couple of years, because it just gives you this edge. You're just more hungry. You're just more bold. That testosterone and energy that you have when you're horny as a man is meant to make you go conquer, so you can get the rewards of recreating. Like that's how we were designed as human beings. You go show that you're worthy, and you can recreate yourself with a woman. You can create another being, right? But now men are losing that edge, right? They're not as fierce. They're not as bold. Like you mentioned earlier, a lot of men are being taught to be more feminized and live with your emotions, speak out your emotions, all this bullshit. A lot of men are being forced into the corner to be more weak. And if they don't quickly, identify this problem, stop it, and move on to another direction, it's going to be hard for you to be successful in any area of your life. If you can't control your sexual urges, it's going to be impossible for you to run a successful business, to keep the kind of woman you like, because you're easily controlled by cheap dopamine.
Is the desexualization of your brain. So one of the things I actually love to teach men is to have women introduce them to more women. But the problem with doing that is that most men who don't have abundance, like you've talked before about men and women being friends, men who don't have abundance are going to have a very difficult time having women in their life that introduce them to other women, because they're always going to be trying to hit on them. When I got back from a 10-month deployment to Iraq and Afghanistan, as soon as I got back, I was in a strip club in Atlanta talking to this girl, and I just remember freaking out, palm sweating, because I was so unimmersed being around women that I didn't have the capability of just being normal around them. Being immersed around lots of women will cause you eventually the autonomic nervous system to stop functioning, so you stop getting the palm sweats, the dilated pupils, and a lot of times men's voice will break and will go up an octave, things like that, and then become like the fidgety behavior. One of the things that I love that you've done, you talks about, is desexualizing your brain. So desexualizing your brain from the people you follow on Instagram, and desexualizing your brain from pornography.
I think that's one thing holding a lot of men hostage today, because, is ever so prevalent. It's so much access. We were talking about ancient times, and men, for the most part, since the beginning of time, had to prove ourselves, conquer something to prove we were worthy to have sex. Now, all a man has to do is go on the internet, click the hub, and can get that same dopamine hit like he actually accomplished something. I think sex should be left to you being with a real woman. And I think a lot of guys have lost that edge, and they think, this easy access makes me less thirsty. Hell, if you over here touching yourself to fucking women that don't even know who you are, what are you going to act like in front of a girl you actually find attractive? You're not even used to talking to girls you find attractive. You're more used to touching yourself to them. So I think that's something that a lot of men are struggling with right now. So many guys are addicted to porn. I've done live streams and seen guys 17, 18 can't get their dick up, experiencing erectile dysfunction at 18 years old because they're so addicted to porn. When your testosterone should be the highest, you can't even get your penis up. And I think that's a huge problem. I wish a lot of men understood that. Like for me.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't even think about that. It's like how that would relate to other parts of your life. Cheap dopamine is now going to cause you to make shortcuts in your work environment. Cheap dopamine is going to cause you to like cancel out on your friends or flake on your friends or snitch on your friends, which is the worst thing. Like that's when I see a lot, dude, guys snitching on other guys is another, we don't talk about this enough, but it has become this huge problem where dudes like snitch on other dudes to try to take their girl. I remember it being like, I don't ever remember it being this bad, bro. My girlfriend goes to the gym sometimes, and it's just the number of dudes that they're just trying to like snitch or talk. I just don't remember it being this bad before, bro. It's just crazy. It's the Tekashi 6ix9ification of people now. It's like it's funny to snitch, and I just don't know where this happened. It's need guys to understand this concept. If you're not, I'm not talking about being a fucking crack dealer and you don't want to snitch to the cops. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is dudes snitching to women about other dudes. All you're doing is making her more attracted to him. That's all you're doing, dude. You're trying to save, like Project Pat says, my favorite evolutionary psychologist, you're trying to save her. She don't want to be saved. And when you snitch to other women about men, you're making those men more attractive. But here's the worst part. Now of course, she's going to go f him right after you snitch on him. And she's going to tell him that you snitched. And now everyone knows you're a snitch, dude. Everyone at the gym, everyone at the club, everyone knows you're a snitch. When you snitch on other dudes for women, it doesn't matter if you're completely right. It is so non-masculine.
Guys don't understand that being a bitch is not what women want. That goes back to no abundance, right? He has no other way to get this woman to pay attention to him. So his only way is to attack the man that she wants, not realizing that you're solidifying in her eyes, like you mentioned, that you are a weaker man. If you were a stronger man, you wouldn't need to even worry about him. And that's one thing, bro, that guys don't understand about women. The jealousy, because that's what you're doing. You're acting jealous. Women hate men that are jealous. They hate men because what you're telling her is, you think this motherfucker is better than you. The only reason you will even talk about him to me, saying whatever you're saying about him to me, is because you know deep down he's better than you, and you're hoping that I give you some pity pussy. Women hate giving pity pussy. So you talking about another dude and snitching on another dude, it just makes you look even worse. You might as well get the tampon out and help her change it. You might as well help her change the tampon, because that's the closest you're gonna ever get to her.
Yeah, that's definitely true, man. When I have girls complain about other dudes, they're like, "Oh, he did this and didn't call me back." I'm like, "Yeah, sounds like he's got game. Like, sounds like he knows what he's doing." I would never snitch and be like, "So he told you he was fucking other women, right?" Yeah, and then you tried to make him settle down with you, right? It's like, the way I see it, he didn't do anything wrong. Like, they're waiting for me to take their side, and I'm like, no, he just sounds like the dude has game. Like, that's all it is. I don't see anything the guy did wrong. Good for him. Yeah. Give me his IG. I want to hit him up. I want to go hang out with that dude.
That's something you just mentioned that I think guys don't do enough of. We don't praise each other enough.
Yeah.
Like, you think you guys will look, these fucking kids today, they think supporting other men is dick riding. It's like, they just make up all these stupid. When you show your props to another man, what you just told that woman is, you don't feel insecure about what he got going on. You don't feel threatened by what he got going on. So now the girl is more sure about you. And I don't know why guys don't understand it. You can give your fellow man props and it will make you look better to the woman.
Yeah. So I had Ho Math on a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you've seen his videos. They're really funny. And one of the things we talked about was the guys in the comments who are clearly making comments that they know to not be true. Like, for instance, one of the things I say is that men do not need context or comfort to have sex. We can have sex with comfort, but we don't need it to have sex. The very attractive woman who wants to walk behind a dumpster. We're just going to look around, make sure we don't get arrested, but like, we're still going to do it. And then the next day, we're not going to like feel some kind of way about it. It's like, not if a man had to 17 women to get off a deserted island, a week later, he's not like he doesn't have to go to a therapist for that. He's just like, oh, okay, I did it. That was a really cool story. If a woman had to do that, she would need to go to therapy. That would be a horrible situation for her. But one of the things is, these men will be in there and they'll be like, no, sex is always better with true love and all this stuff. And I'm like, bro, you know that's not true, but you're still saying that. And I always write in the comment, bro, she's not going to you because you wrote this comment. You have this situation?
Bro, it's like the guys, they think that the girls are going to be reading the comments and go DM them and say, yeah, you're a better guy than him. You know what's crazy? You know what's actually crazy? I've had girls, literally, you're talking about snitching. I've had girls send me about what dudes were talking about and be laughing at the dudes.
Yes.
Be laughing at the dude. You think you over here talking, oh, you think you gaining cool points. She laughing at you, because even though women might disagree with me, women will respect me because I can at least say what I mean. Your ass, she thinks you don't really believe what you're saying. You're just saying that to get me to like you, which turns her off.
Yeah.
Dudes don't understand how women operate. She's not gonna like you because you want to tell her what she wants to hear. She's gonna think you a